feel like I can never fully wear army green and black without looking like 110% Kim Possible, but you know, it's all good. We're going with it today. Hello and welcome to the channel. So if you are not new to the channel, you may have seen my previous video on Ozempic and kind of my initial reaction to how it was being promoted in the media and my thoughts and feelings on it. And I have to admit that the second that I edited and posted that video, I kind of had a different viewpoint already. I almost had like not a change of heart per se, but I started learning even more through direct experience, through hearing individuals' personal experience with Ozempic and Wegovy and how they've really helped them. And from that, I really felt compelled to make a follow-up video because while there is a lot of hype and kind of what I view as weird over promotion of Ozempic in some circumstances, I do think that it's not all 100% negative and that there are some circumstances and patients that do benefit from the drug. So this is not a video to say that everyone should jump on the Ozempic train or everyone should go on weight loss medication, not by any means whatsoever, but I do think it's really important to arm yourself with knowledge around the drug. So if you want to learn more about the drug specifically, I would check out that video first. And in this video, we're going to do more of a what you should consider and what you should check off the list before going on any GLP-1 medications. And just as a quick reminder, I am not a medical doctor. I am a registered dietitian nutritionist. I'm also a certified personal trainer. And this is my perspective from more of that lens and the nutrition side of things, not necessarily like the medical side of things. So keep that in mind as you watch this video and make sure you check in with your own dietitian and doctor to make the best decision for you. This video is by no means a substitute for medical advice, simply a starting point to start thinking of the different things to consider when you do go to your doctor. Okay, so let's get into the 5 things that I would ask yourself before considering going on Ozempic or Wegovy or any other GLP-1 medication. Number 1 is, have you been making consistent changes and positive strides in your diet and exercise routine in the last 6 to 12 months? Consistency is really key for weight management and blood sugar control. So this is the number 1 thing that we look out for when approving patients for GLP-1 medication type drugs is ensuring that you've been trying other methods to control weight and to control blood sugar. And we do this for a very valid reason, right? It's not to punish you, not to say you're not trying hard enough, or to say that we're doubting you. It's just that we want sufficient evidence that you have been consistent with these habits that you mention, because taking something like a weight loss medication to help you lose weight is a really big step. And while these medications can help with the weight loss aspect, we don't just want to see that you are losing weight alone. We also want to see that you are nourishing your body with healthy fruits and vegetables, whole grains, proteins, and balance. While we love to see you feel more confident in your body because you're losing the weight and also seeing improvements in your labs and stuff like that, we also want to see that you're not just dependent on the drug for seeing those results, and you know how to eat a healthy diet, treat your body well, and exercise so you can get more of a holistic approach to managing your weight versus just depending on a drug alone. And if I haven't said it yet, weight is not the only indicator of health. It's a piece of the pie, no doubt, but it's not the only thing that says whether you're healthy or whether you're not. You can be a normal weight and be deep in an eating disorder, and you can be a heavier weight but be fueling your body really well and exercising regularly. So one thing that I really want to drill in is that it's so important, even if you are able to lose weight through a drug, to also treat your body well otherwise. Another thing that I want you to ask yourself is, do I have a history of disordered eating, extreme dieting, or anything that would make this drug contraindicated? GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy can impact our appetite significantly. So if you are deep in an eating disorder, chances are your doctor and dietitian are not going to be approving you for this medication. But even for those of you who have recovered from disordered eating in the past, I still want you to consider, is this drug going to trigger any unhelpful or harmful feelings about my body and encourage me to do things in a dangerous way where I'm using this drug to purposefully restrict and eat significantly less than I normally would. This, I would definitely say, is partially your doctor and dietitian's duty to kind of look out for before approving the drug for you. But at the same time, I do think it takes some internal reflection in saying, like, is this going to be more helpful or harmful for me mentally? Another thing to consider is if you've ever had gastroparesis or small bowel obstructions or anything related to blockages in your intestines, I would be very leery of going on a drug like Ozempic because it has been known to have potential side effects of gastroparesis, which essentially means that your body is processing food at a far lower rate than it normally would, which can cause it to kind of back up, so to speak. The slowing down of food through your GI tract is part of what makes you feel so full on these drugs to where you don't feel like you have to eat all the time, but it comes with cons as well. It's not to say everyone that has this drug will experience this, but it is something to consider. And if you ever have moments where you feel like you can't keep food down, you can't keep liquids down, or you just haven't been hungry in an extended period of time, definitely check in with your doctor to make sure nothing is wrong and to have them maybe do a scan and see what's going on, because I promise gastroparesis is not an issue that you want to run into. The third thing that you want to consider is, are you someone who has the financial means and the motivation and schedule to regularly check in with your healthcare team, like your doctor and dietitian? A lot of the clients that I've been seeing recently that are on Ozempic or Wegovy regularly see me and regularly check in with their doctor. And we do it through telehealth, so it's a lot easier and manageable. So definitely consider that. If you feel like that's something that could be a potential barrier for you, consider seeing a dietitian or a doctor through telehealth to make it a little easier on yourself. And the reason this is so important is that, again, just like tip number one, you don't just want to be on the drug and not making any sort of changes in your diet and your lifestyle and your exercise. You want to be constantly working with a dietitian on any binge eating behaviors that maybe have developed over time. Or if you're not able to eat enough food on the drug, your dietitian needs to know that, and you need to work on how you can have small, consistent meals so you can meet your calorie needs and your nutrient needs and macronutrient needs and still be reaching your goals. Your doctor is also an important person to check in with because, of course, if you feel like you need to lower your dosage or maybe increase it just a little bit, they need to know that too, and they need to know kind of what's going on, what symptoms you're experiencing, if you're having any side effects, stuff like that. I think this is honestly the best approach if you are to go on Wegovy or Ozempic, is to work with your healthcare team really closely and change your lifestyle and dietary habits alongside medication. I could not promote it enough. I do believe that some people do everything in their power to eat a healthy diet and exercise and they still don't see results, and that's what these drugs are intended for. They're just not intended for the people who are trying to use and abuse them, which is one of the things that I was just really getting overly passionate about in my first video about Ozempic, is that I was worried about people who might be trying to cut corners to diet, and also I was really concerned about people promoting it in this way of don't care about exercise, don't care about nutrition, don't care about your mental well-being, just take the drug and you'll be fine. That's what I was so passionate about, and I feel like it kind of came off the wrong way, like I was saying that no one should be on the drug, and I just want to clarify that that is not what I meant. It was simply that I really do feel lifestyle comes first, and then drug plus lifestyle is a possible intervention if it's been a long period of time where things have gone unmanaged. The fourth thing to consider is, have you gone over with your doctor and dietitian the potential side effects of the drugs? So I know in social media land, there is all the positives and it's just promoted as this magical weight loss drug. And the side effects really don't get talked about a ton, but we kind of mentioned them in this video. And I also mentioned them in the first video that I initially made on this medication as well. Be aware that it can cause delayed gastric emptying, which can lead to more serious conditions like gastroparesis down the line, which can cause blockages in your intestines. If you're not working with a registered dietitian on kind of maintaining a healthy lifestyle alongside of these drugs, another thing that can happen is malnutrition. And this is honestly one of the bigger side effects that I have concerns with as a dietitian, is under eating and not getting enough nutrients for your body, which I know for some people may sound a little backwards, because I guess the whole intention you're thinking is that individuals eat less food so they lose weight. But eating as little as possible doesn't necessarily mean that you're eating healthy, and it doesn't necessarily mean a positive thing. In fact, some people can go on these drugs and have under like 1,000 calories a day, 1,200 calories a day, which is not enough for the average adult. And it can really mess up and slow down your metabolism long term, especially if you choose to ever go off the drug. You can gain all the way back and then some and have a kind of jacked up metabolism, scientific terms here, after overly restricting. It's just like with extreme diets and disordered eating. It can really cause problems to your blood sugar and to your metabolism over time. Your body still needs carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and you still need adequate calories with this drug to optimize your health and nutrition. Plus, understanding the risk versus the reward is going to help you make an informed decision versus just making it off of the hype from social media alone. The last thing that I want you to consider before taking one of these medications is that it is a lifelong commitment. It is a drug that is designed to take for the rest of your life. It is not, ooh, I'm gonna jumpstart my bikini bod by taking it for 3 months before summer, and then I can go off of it and eat healthy. It's not designed to work like that, and chances are if you go off and on it, you're just going to simply gain the weight back, and potentially if you went on the drug without any lifestyle changes, you're definitely going to be back at square one, not really knowing what to do, and potentially heavier than before because you're not really getting to the core underlying issue of what's causing the problems. So that is another strong reason why we don't recommend just going on these drugs right off the bat with no dietary intervention. You want to make sure that you have tried everything in your power before considering these medications, because it's not just going to be one and done. And it's just like anything else in life, right? Eating one apple is not going to overall transform your body and make you healthy. And doing one 5-mile hike is not going to overhaul your cardiovascular health. Doing one strength workout is not going to give you a bikini bod. I know it can be frustrating and take a lot of time and commitment to invest in your health, but I promise it is worth it in the long term. All right, so let me know in the comment section below, what is your number one takeaway from this video, and what are some of your thoughts and feelings about these new drugs? Do you think that it's something that you are going to consider in the future? Is it something that you're like, no, that is absolutely not for me. I was just kind of interested in what you had to say about it. I don't think I'm ever going to need or want to take these drugs. I want to do it in a holistic way. I'd love to hear from you, because I know there's so many perspectives and thoughts and feelings about these new medications. If you are interested in working with me or seeing the different meal plans and things that I offer, check out the description below. And if you have any thoughts or ideas or questions on different nutrition topics that you want me to cover in the future, let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video and you want to keep hanging out with me here on YouTube, then click or tap the screen to head on over to the next video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.